wonderful subscribers. This is Active TV again for another fast and a quick update. As you all were aware that Active TV every Sunday we bring you weekend update. Today is another Sunday. Today is another weekend update. Mbadingolu bi fanamu a weekend update dolti ya. Nalbe hakilo bakang Active TV dimas wa dimasa. Nga kibaro dol kafunyoma ngebe findindalye video killing kono. Bi fanamu weekend update dolti. Bi fanamu dimaso dolti.
Undoubtedly, this confirms the willingness of parents and teachers to resume schooling and parents' total commitment to support the process. And for this, I want to convey my sincere gratitude to all who were involved. My dear parents, teachers, students, and all other stakeholders, I must say that we are very much aware of your concern for the ministry to reopen schools after many months of closure. I want to assure that we all share the concern, including the government's top leadership.
Schools reopen next week, says Claudia Cole, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education in the Gambia. Mbadingolo Claudia Cole, atelenyin kibaro janjandi Gambia Banko Kanga in a televised address on GRTS. Kokarambul beyella Gambia Banko Kanga. The Minister of Basic and Secondary Education announced that junior and senior schools will reopen throughout the country on Wednesday, 14 October, while early child development and primary schools will reopen. A week later, Mbadingulu Claudia Cole, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Akibaro Janjanko, junior school and senior school ibeyella nyinkaro miyalon kombakono atil tanni nani. Nursing school wolbe yella ning lokun killing tambita kotake mbadingolu nyimu kulati mi yalon ko amoyo diata kendeke kana munda dinewol meda siring andu inyanda kata karanolale nyimu kulati mi yalon ko akumayata kendeke. I am pleased to inform all students, teachers, parents and stakeholders that school will open for grade 7 to 12 on October 14 and for ECDS to grade 6 on October 28, 2020. It is my hope that maximum attention will be paid to necessary health regulations, Minister Claudia Cole said in a televised address on GRTS. Schools and universities throughout the country have been closed since March 18 when the coronavirus hits the Gambia. Mbadingulu Claudia Cole ako karambung beyalla kabo grade 7 kara grade 12 wolbe yalla mbeni October karo mun konateng atil tanni nani primary school nursery school kara for primary school grade 6 wolbe yalla October karo mbeni karo mun konateng atil muang anin say Claudia Cole ako necessary measures wala kol be tamala le kol mi yalon ko ibe tamala wala pour coronavirus isa nyato kuntu nyamen karambungol to Claudia Cole nyun kumo fa GRTS bring a nation address.
Now that we are beginning to understand the virus and seeing positive signs in our country's effort to contain the pandemic, as well as having learned and gained some lessons and experiences from the partial school reopening, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education is determined to reopen schools under strict conditions based on the advice of the Ministry of Health and WHO agreed international standards. To complement this, my ministry, in collaboration with all the stakeholders, will endeavor to ensure that the safety of all schools, students, and teachers are safeguarded from hazards related to the COVID-19 pandemic by putting in place measures that will support this process.
Gorgi Mboob si bopam bandi la jaral nako mu fay ay nit ñu nekk di la topa so ma ngi doon xalaat loolu the whole time parce que my family tam ñu ngi ma wax ne da nga war a speak up cause everybody is involved. This is not only about you, but your future relies on this. You don't know what's going to happen to you. Buguma na wax dega but our choice. Mun na nopi case bi mu dé ëllëg li si biiram xawma lan moo ma dal.
IGP Mahmoud Job advised to redeploy Gorgi Mboob. Mbadingulu IGP Mahmoud Job, Police Inspector General Gambia Police la Inspector General Mahmoud Job ay felenti yamaro diala brinkis kisiro keta. Gorgi Mboob la kuoto aning Ebrima Sanneh dunta nyola amunna ye panelo londi pour ka ko nyin kiskis. Mahmoud Job ye yamaro diala ko Gorgi Mboob atam moltimi yalon ko anyanta mume be bondila anti crime unit sawundi dula doto. The Joint Investigative Panel into the alleged human rights violations against Ebrima Sanneh is pleased to share its findings and recommendations with the general public on the 25th of July. 2020 disturbing news emerged that a young man, later identified as one Ebrima Sanneh, had been allegedly assaulted with a hoe on his private part by Commissioner Gorgi Mboob, head of the anti-crime unit in Bijilo. Ebrima and others were arrested and detained for being in a nightclub where fighting was allegedly reported to have occurred and violating COVID-19 emergency regulations. The panel, which was chaired by the NHRC and comprised of representatives of the Gambia Police Force, the Ministry of Interior, the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, Tango, and the Gambia Bar Association, received testimony from 17 witnesses, including Ebrima Sanneh and Commissioner Gorgi Mboob. The panel also obtained medical evidence from the Kanifing General Hospitals and interviewed the medical doctor that treated Ebrima. The premises of the anti-crime unit in Bijilo was also visited to access the scene of the alleged assault, and a detailed report has been shared and well received by the Inspector General of Police, IGP, and relevant state authorities. The panel found that the arrest of Ebrima Sanneh and his colleagues was unwarranted, and there was no fighting at the club, as alleged by the police, and the police did not state the arrest of Ebrima and his colleague was due to breaks of the emergency regulations of the coronavirus. Ebrima and his colleagues were also subjected to forced labor while in detention, and Ebrima was assaulted by Commissioner Gorgi Mboob on his private parts. The medical report showed that, unlike rumor of a sexual transmitted infection, Ebrima suffered from trauma on his genital as a result of the assault. The report, however, concluded that there was no lasting internal damage on his basis. The panel made general and specific recommendations on police conduct, assault, forced labor, and procedures surrounding arrest. Mbadingulu kibarol be muyitandi kanjang iko Inspector General of Police Alhaji Mahmoud Job atule Gorgi Mboob ya advice wala ya maro diala birim panelo lota ka kiskisiro ke Gorgi Mboob ay kuol mulke ye kamul lala Ebrima Sanneh kamul la Gorgi Mboob la ko Gorgi Mboob yetel attaque le andum fanang aye muta iko itel be night club to andum fanang coronavirus lual yole boyindi yendum fanang night club to ibe kelola je ako Gorgi Mboob ye muta wala bari Gorgi Mboob nate ye muta ay luwa tamandi atala miro fe abe luwa le tamandi kan anate muta ay samba anti-crime unit. Ibo anti-crime unit Gorgi Mboob la nyaton kaya koto anata doku kolangole kan ibo doku kolangala Gorgi Mboob nata Ebrima Sanneh anata lipa ala keyato anata lipa aliparom yalon ko doctorol ya tonyandi ko tonyalem Gorgi Mboob be nyil lipale andum fanan lipa damen batandile kendeke wo kibarol findita panelo ko motaning warawula o motaning warawulol kono mi yalon ko be msedo leti Gorgi Mboob la molbo kono Ebrima Sanneh la molbol kono enate be nyinin ka andum fanan nyim panelo alota tonyala kan andum fanan molle bije mu yalon ko independent molbe konole non-governmental organization molbe konole Tango bije Gambia Bar Association fanan bije inata wolbe kafunyoma pour kay kiskisiro ganyin kola docteur wo fanan nata diam yalon ko wala Ibrahima Jara wo fanan nata tonyandi ko Ibrahima molti mi yalon ko batata nyin ko konole kendeke mole mati mi yalon ko lipatale ala keyato andun ko nyin ya batandile kendeke kibarol nata findi ko Inspector General of Police Mahmoud Job pour ay Gorgi Mboob bondi anti-crime unit a saundi duladol to wo yamaro wala dita Mahmoud Job la Inspector General of Police. Mbadiŋolu ñimu kulati mi yalon ko akumayata kendeke andun kibaro la mi yalon ko amoyo diata kendeke ñi yayi tandile ko Gambia banko kanga. There's democracy in the Gambia because this panel consists of independent peoples and independent organizations, and the panel came out with their recommendation mbadiŋolu andun aketa recommendation oti mi yalon ko tonya yole tamandi je andun yayi tandi ko Gambia dingol la ko ye Gambia dingol be la mandi andi ko democracy wala be Gambia banko kan sang man sate kuwol kala banku dingol la ku mamboje ni man sa ku ke banku dingol la mi yalon ko tonya tije kube bola jele woto bravo Gambia government, bravo the Gambia police force. Ngayon kibaro le sodalie B, this is Active TV update. Schools reopen next week. IGP Mahmoud Job advised to redeploy Gorgi Mboob. Active TV weekend update.